In today's video, I'm going to show you 10 common mistakes that you want to avoid while building with EMT conduit. Let's get started. Mistake number one is not having a plan for your project. Not all builds require an extensive plan, but I find it helpful to jot down some general measurements, the connection points, and the materials that you might need, like wood for a tabletop. Everybody's plans are going to be different. You may like to sketch out your project and then build from there. But as you can see, I can't really draw, so I like to model my projects either digitally or with the mini connectors. And once you have a visual in place, you can see the exact connectors you need, where they're going to go, and start kind of seeing your project come together. The second mistake that you want to avoid is not giving yourself enough comfortable space to work in. You can build anywhere, whether it be in the living room, outside in the garage or shop, or sitting at your dining room table. Doesn't matter where you build. Just clear out your workspace and give yourself enough room to maneuver and cut the pipe. To make the build process as easy as possible, it's good that you have a flat and level surface to build on. Of course, the ground works fine, but it's really nice when you have a table or workbench that has a surface that sits at a comfortable work height. This makes it really easy to get the angles right and just makes the build more enjoyable overall. You really want to avoid mistake number three, which is getting the wrong size pipe. The current lineup of connectors work with 3/4 inch EMT conduit. You can find conduit in the electrical aisle of your local hardware store. While you're there, you'll see IMC and rigid conduit, but you don't want to get those because those pipes don't work with the connectors. The best way to make sure you get the right size pipe is to check the sticker that's on the conduit and make sure it says 3/4 inch EMT. I also want to mention that you can use the connectors with 1/2 inch EMT conduit if you pick up some of the adapter shims. Mistake number four is not ordering enough shims for your 1/2 inch EMT projects. You want to take a look at the connectors you need for your project and then see how many pipes that they connect. For example, the T connector will connect 2 pieces of conduit together, so that means you need 2 shims. A quick tip is if you run out of shims for your project while you're building, you can get 3/4 inch PEX from your local hardware store and make some yourself. The fifth mistake you want to avoid is not having the right tools for the job. You only need a few hand tools, which are a 5mm hex wrench, a tape measure, a marker of your choice. I like using an Expo marker, but a Sharpie works just as well, and then a pipe and tube cutter. If you have these tools already, awesome, but if you don't, you definitely want to pick them up before it's time to build. You really want to avoid mistake number 6, which is not calculating the length of the connectors into your overall measurement. The connectors add 2 inches of length to the end of conduit. For example, I want this outside to outside measurement to be 20 inches, so my pipe cut in the middle is going to be 16 inches. This pipe combined with the 2 outside connectors gives me the overall span of 20 inches that I'm after. Mistake number 7 is not getting your accessories at the right time. You want to get the extra items and materials that your project needs before the build. If you're at the store getting conduit, why not go ahead and pick up the wood that you need for your tabletop? The same goes for your connector order. If you plan on using end caps or shrink wrap in your project, go ahead and add them to your original order. This way you don't have to pay for multiple shipments. The 8th mistake that we want you to avoid is not reaching out for help. We have an awesome community full of helpful people, and of course, we're always here as well. You can post in the Build Help section in the community, comment on any of our videos or social posts, or of course, call us or fill out the Contact Us form on the website. We love seeing people finish their project, and we're here to help every step of the way. I also want to mention that we live stream weekly, so definitely feel free to drop in there, hang out, and ask some questions. Mistake number 9 is not familiarizing yourself with the connectors before you start building. It's a good idea when you get your package to lay out your connectors on the table or workspace you're going to be working off of. A lot of builders don't realize that we actually seal the pieces together rather than the individual connectors. This can be kind of confusing because some of the parts, like the 180-degree connector or the 4-way connector, both use this same piece. It's a good idea to refer to the product photos on the website or the video overviews here on the channel so you can get a good idea and visualize how the connectors assemble. Mistake number 10 is not having enough connectors to finish your project. Probably the worst feeling is getting to the end of a build and then running out of connectors. To fix this, you can plan ahead of time like we mentioned earlier, or you can reach out to us and we'll help you figure out how many that you need. It's also a good idea to order extra. It never hurts to have a few laying around in case another project comes up if you don't use them in the current build. If you avoid these 10 mistakes, you'll have your project finished in no time. If you need more tips and tricks, check out this video here. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.